Hello, my name is Kelly, and I've been working with seniors creating art for about 6 years. And today we're going to learn how to draw ourselves as comic characters. And first off, I need to let you know that you can draw, and everybody can actually draw. And how I know this is thinking back to when I was a kid and when you were probably a kid as well. And we drew as a form of play. And it was like, oh, I'm going to build build a building with these blocks, or I'm going to draw a monster that I have thought up out of my imagination. And these were fun things. This was a fun activity for us to do. And then around the age of 9, when we start to look around our world and we see what other people have drawn, we see works of art, we become very critical of our own skills. And we think that we've maybe been doing it wrong because it doesn't look like what we're seeing. And I believe that everybody has their own drawing style, and that style has its own unique beauty because only you can draw that way. And so when I see people trying to copy or emulate other people's styles, I find that disappointing because I think the greatest amount of originality comes from when you just sit down and you draw from your imagination or your life experience and put it down on paper. The reason why I like using comics as a drawing medium is that it sort of relieves the pressure of drawing realistic, and you're able to exaggerate emotions, exaggerate actions, and it just is a very fun medium to use. And it's also an evolving medium. And many of you remember superhero comics. This one I inherited from my dad, Iron Man versus Captain America, floppy comics, lots of ads. And these are still being made today, and these older ones are collectibles. But you've maybe also heard about graphic novels. And these are long form comic books, often hardcover, but not always. Um, it's a long form story with text and with image. And this is a hardcover book, and this is a soft cover. But as you can see, it's still something you read, but you read the pictures along with the text. And graphic novels are not necessarily for kids. They can be, but um, these are adult books. And this is what's kind of hard to change about society, is accepting this medium as a serious literary art form. Um, Also, there's things called mini comics, which are people that maybe don't have a publisher. They want to make it themselves. They have access to a photocopier, and they actually make their own comics and just photocopy them and staple them into little booklets. And maybe they sell them, and maybe they don't. Maybe they just give them away. But it's a wonderful way to get your work out there, and it feels wonderful to actually complete something like this and have it of your own work and be able to put it on the shelf. And then here's another version of a mini comic. These are practically pocket sized, and these are made from a folded one sheet of paper. I'll show you what that looks like. One sheet of paper with a fold, with a cut in the middle, and folded. And these are great to just carry around and hand out or trade, slip them into a letter to your family. Just a wonderful, cute size. So let's dive in with our little lesson here today. And you have a handout. And so you're going to grab some paper, and you can use really any of the drawing implements that are in your little kit. So you've got a charcoal pencil in there. You've got pencils, pens, you have watercolor pencils. I would suggest probably just a pen as you're starting off. Also, you can erase, and that's really takes the pressure off. So I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to grab just a plain piece of paper. This is copy paper. And the first step, well, I guess what I want you to think about first of all is we're essentially just moving lines and shapes around. And when you think of it that way, it should hopefully make you realize that you can do it. But step one, do not start with a stick figure. Now, so stick figures serve a purpose, nothing personal against them. But when we're making a comic character, there's not much you can do with a stick figure. You can't hang clothes off a stick figure. When you put hands or feet on a stick figure, it's kind of awkward. Like, why would they have full hands and full feet, but just stick legs and stick arms? And if we want to show ourselves in this character, if we want to exaggerate our own features, we need more of a canvas to work with here. So something really simple that I always think about is that we're going to be putting two shapes together. A circle, there we go, a circle, and you can say triangle, but I also like to just call it piece of pizza, which makes it more fun. And I'm actually going to do these in marker so that you can see them a little bit better. There we go. Anyone can draw a circle. Anyone can draw a piece of pizza. So when we put these together, we put the circle together, we put the pizza, we put the circle on top of the pizza. It's a body kind of forming before our eyes. So look how much better, how much space we have on this character as opposed to like this. So even with this person, even if we just want to put just basic arms and legs on it, such like that, we still have a lot of space here and things that we can do. So step one was putting the circle and the triangle together. And step two is just adding arms and legs. And then on the step three of your handout, now we're going to personalize this character to make it recognizable as yourself. And so we're going to add probably the most important feature that would make this character look close enough to be you is hairstyle. And I want you to think of hairstyles. I don't want you to think that you have to draw individual hairs. That is something people kind of get hung up on. I want you instead to think about your hairstyle as if it's a hat sitting on your head, a hat that you can lift off your head. What would be the shape of that hat? So today I've got a ponytail, but I normally like to draw myself with like a little bob that has kind of wisps coming out either side. So I can easily put that on my character. And it's beginning to look like me already. What's another thing? I bet you can guess, and you're probably saying it out loud right now, glasses. So for me, I got the kind of little cat eye glasses here. I'm going to go ahead and just put some eyeballs in there as well. So if I'm walking down the street and I pass by you and someone comes up to you and says, oh, did you see that person? They had like bobbed hair, glasses. You'd be like, yeah, actually, they just passed me. Those two things are very easily recognizable. And oftentimes people that wear glasses always wear glasses, and it becomes kind of part of their identity. At least that's the case for me. Okay, so now we're at this point, which is step three, starting to personalize our character. But what's it missing? We want to add in nose, mouth. Let's put some hands and feet on there. Let's put some clothes. Do you maybe wear a necklace all the time? Do you have big hoop earrings that you like to wear? Think about things that are uniquely you. Do you have a certain purse you like a crossbody purse that hangs off your hip? Do you have maybe those chains so that you can take your glasses on and off and let them hang at your chest? What's kind of special about the way you dress? And you know what? Even if you just wear a flannel shirt every day, drawing that flannel shirt can say a little something about yourself. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put eyebrows on above my glasses. I'm going to put a nose on there. I'm going to put a mouth. And then I'm going to go ahead and put hands. And keep in mind, I only put, here's barely 3 and here's 4. It doesn't really matter. The Simpsons only have 4 fingers. You just want to give the impression of a hand. Would someone look at that and say, that's not a hand, it doesn't have the right amount of fingers? No, they're going to fill in the blanks and realize that you were trying to draw a hand. Also, let's see. Some feet. And then I actually do wear flannel shirts a lot, or just like these long sleeve shirts. So I'm going to just draw that on my person and put some buttons on it. So I'm drawing with marker. You're drawing with pencil. And I wish I was drawing with pencil, because one of the great ways that this method of putting a character together is going to work for you is that if you take your pencil and you put lines on either side of these arms you drew, it's just going to help you bulk out the body. And so you're using these shapes that you put down as guides. And then you will go in and erase these extra lines. So I just drew a person in just a matter of minutes with no anatomy training of any kind. So, okay. That's a good step. Step 5 is to now draw it again, redraw your character, because repetition is going to help you learn. It's going to help you feel more confident. So I'm going to start off with that circle, and then I'm going to draw that pizza shape. I'm going to draw my hair as if it were a hat. I'm going to put my glasses on here. I'm going to put some arms and legs. I'm going to put a nose, eyebrows, a smile. I'm going to put that flannel shirt or that long sleeve shirt that I like. I'm going to build out the sleeves with these arms. I'm going to make these into pants, these lined legs. Actually, for my sake, because I don't have an eraser, I'm just going to color in the pants. Hands. Oh, actually, I think I did the hands and the arms out of order. There we go. Are they tennis shoes? Are they loafers? Do they have laces? It's up to you. Does your shirt have stripes? Maybe. This can actually be quite fun for you if you like coming up with little fashions. If you ever played fashion plates when you were a kid, like I did. Okay. And so, oh yeah, have your character hold something that is something that's maybe special to you, something that you like. So for my character, I actually think I'm going to move the hands just a little bit. And I'm going to have them hang on to some tulips, which is a flower I like. Kind of like little hearts, except they've got green leaves here too. Okay, so there it is. There's me as a comic character. And there's lots of things I can do with this character now that I've drawn it twice, and I'm feeling more comfortable every time I draw it. I can write a letter to somebody and sign off with my comic. I can draw my character on the other side of a greeting card. I can just write a nice note to somebody and fold it and send it. Your friends and your family will be so thrilled to receive not just words or not just something typed, but to see that you drew something for them. It's really very fun. And so when you have your character in this form, you've got some colored pencils in your kit. You have watercolor pencils and lots of ways that you can add color to this character. So, in fact, if you really think that you did a good job on this one, and you can put this on the photocopier and just make a whole bunch of copies of it and use those as letters that you send and maybe color them all in different ways. So, next step is, what are you going to do with this character? And this video doesn't go that far, but what I want you to think about is, now that you have this character, you also have pretty much a blank background that you can fill in with anything you'd like. Where's your character standing? Are they in France? Are they in your backyard? There's lots of fun ways to depict where your character is standing. Also, if you get really bold, you can go through the same process of circle, triangle, lines, outline lines, add personality, and draw another character that this character can interact with. So that might be your best friend. That might be a pet. There's lots of things you can do. And then you would really be on your way building these characters. And when you have these characters when you think about them interacting with each other, then you're halfway to making a story or having the instinct to build a story around these characters. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little lesson, and I hope that you will make this character of yourself and then do something with it. And consider, now that you've warmed up your hands and warmed up your mind, to use those supplies in your kit and have some fun with it. And if you get to the point where you're actually going to start drawing characters in panels, or you might fill a whole sheet with smaller squares to fill in. There's lots of different formats you can put your comics into. Or you can just consider each page a panel and then staple them together and make a little book. So I'm going to leave you at that point, and I hope that you enjoy yourself drawing and really feeling how relaxed you can be, how joyful you can be when you're just working with your imagination and you're drawing again like you did when you were a kid. So thanks very much, and I hope that you make some comics.